what is actually happening with the youth in Cameroon, because I came to observe that they might be the problem in Cameroon. Why is it that they are so quiet? They are just as if they are neutral concerning the issue going on in Cameroon, all the problems, the bad governance, the crisis in southern Cameroon and all over Cameroon, the hardship in Cameroon. It's just as if the youth, they don't care about it, whether, but this is their future. And after observing the explanation that Cabral Libi gave concerning the voter registration that just ended, that you look through it, you discover that youth 20 to 35 years, they are the least. They registered, maybe not up to 30% of them register for the upcoming presidential election. And these are the very people suffering. These are the very people crying. These are the very people complaining the highest all over Cameroon and even out of Cameroon. And they are not taking any responsibility. If the youth fail to take responsibility, the elderly, especially the wicked ones within the government, will take advantage of that, and they will remain in power at the detriment of the common people. If you observed what happened in Kenya, where the youth came out in their numbers against the government, you discover that the government adjusted a little bit, though not 100%, but the government in Kenya is presently afraid of the youth. And that is the very thing I keep on holding on to, that when the government is afraid of the youth or the common people, there is possibility that positive change will come. But when the common people are afraid of the government, there is possibility that embezzlement, looting, corruption, and many other evil things will happen. If this is our first time joining TFA Talking Point, please subscribe to our channel. We are calling on all the youth in Cameroon to take responsibility. Voter registration will be open. They will open it maybe any time from now again. So what I'm telling you is just that go and register. If all the youth between 20 to 35 can register all over Cameroon, or in Cameroon can register for the upcoming presidential election and then stand to secure their vote, there will be possibility that we can remove President Paul Biya from power. And you know that removing President Paul Biya will be an indirect way of removing the CPDM. Because when President Paul Biya will go down, all other CPDM militants will be afraid. Many of them will escape out of Cameroon because of what they have done. The first thing that they hold on to power is that they are afraid of revenge. They are afraid of the anger of the population, what the population will do against them. That is the main thing that is holding them. They decided that, okay, they will be in power until all of them will pass away. So the only people to take out the CPDM from power are the youth. And there is no way you can do it without putting your name on the electoral list. You have to register. Because if you do not register, you cannot vote. If you do not vote, you cannot bring any positive change in your country. That is the first point. The second issue is, if you look at what happened in Kenya, though many people died in the process, but it came up with something. I don't know what we can do in order to rally all the youth in Cameroon, all over Cameroon, to stand up one day against the CPDM. I'm talking all over Cameroon because the government of Cameroon is different from the government in Kenya. The government of Cameroon is more wicked and they can do anything at any time against anybody. So if Cameroonians youth cannot stand up the same time, it will be difficult for them to defeat the government. If you hear that those in the littoral, they are out, do not wait to hear news or see the consequences of. No, you people in the other part of the country, in other regions, should just stand up. If they stand up all over like that, all over the country, it will be difficult for the government to stop it. But if you are waiting and say, no, these are the people of the littoral, they are the one complaining, which they are complaining the same thing that you are going through, then the government will take the military from your own region and send to brutalize those in the littoral region. And that is how the government has been operating. And if you stand up everybody at the same time, it will be difficult for the government. And those who can stand up are the youth, not the elderly, not the children, but the youth. So if we can take that responsibility into our hands, that we do not want to vote because we are afraid that our vote will not be counted, then let us stand up all over Cameroon one day against the government. But if we cannot stand up, then we should register. Because when you register, it is obvious that you will vote. Check and see that your name is on the electoral list. And then when you are sure of voting and you are voting a station, then go there on that day. After voting, secure your vote. Make sure that you leave the place aware that your vote has been counted, and then the result, the total result at your polling station, you have it written down or record video or audio for any issue. When they are calling on the radio, when they are declaring the election, the Constitutional Council, listen very well to hear your own location, whether truly this is the number of voted in that region and this was the final result. And that is how we can secure and remove the CPDM. We are passing through a lot in Cameroon. And the only thing, the only problem in Cameroon is President Paul Biya and the CPDM. And there is a way we can